The Demon Drill. Nadeem was putting up a display of drills in his family's shop window. The gang tried to help, but Nadeem wanted to do it all by himself. He'd been waiting ages for the demon drills to arrive and was even wearing his demon drill t-shirt. We could put some other tools in the window as well, suggested Biff, like these pliers. No, Biff, said Nadeem, snatching the pliers away from her. This is a drills only display. He added one last drill and went outside to admire his display. But it began to wobble, and then it fell down. Crash! Boxes flew everywhere. Why don't you let me help? Cried Biff. I wish he'd let me help, thought Floppy. People need to see the dog food. Just then, the key on Floppy's collar started to glow. Suddenly, Biff, Nadeem and Floppy were dragged into a vortex of amazing colours and lights. They were flying round and round, faster and faster. Biff, Nadeem and Floppy looked around. They could see a half-built boat, a big drill waving at them from the deck. He pointed to Nadeem's t-shirt. I see your demon drill, he said, hopping out of the boat. We could really do with you below deck. Nadeem liked the idea of helping building the boat and agreed to go. Then the drill, whose name was Danny, looked at Biff. What's a pair of pliers doing here? He asked. And you must be a sander by the look of you, he added, pointing to Floppy. Biff and Floppy stared at him, feeling very confused. It's the drills only around here, Danny went on. Demon drill, you come with me. As Nadeem went off with Danny, Biff and Floppy decided to explore. At the quayside, they soon met 3 screwdrivers, but when Biff tried to talk to them, they ignored her. The same thing happened when Biff and Floppy met a group of saws. We don't talk to pliers, one of them snapped at her. Meanwhile, Danny showed Nadeem around the boat. 2 drills were trying to cut the mast to size. By drilling holes in it, it was taking them a very long time. Wouldn't the saw do that quicker? Nadeem asked. Saw? Squeaked one of the drills. We don't work with saws, we're drills. Back on the quayside, Biff and Floppy had met some friendly pliers who were warming themselves up round a fire. They asked Biff if she would like a cup of tea. Yes, please, she replied. She began to talk to the pliers, so Floppy went off for a sniff around. There's no work around here, I'm afraid. One pair of pliers told her sadly. The drills took this job, another explained. The third pair of pliers explained that to finish the job, the drills had to launch the boat that day, and now they'll get the prize, he added wistfully, pointing at a huge toolbox. It looked like a little house, and the door had a red ribbon tied around the handle, like a present. Biff looked at it thoughtfully. Then she realised that Floppy was nowhere to be seen. Excuse me, I think I should find my dog, she said, putting down her cup. Back inside the boat, Nadeem looked in confusion at 2 drills that were working on the floorboards. Then he had an idea. You need a screwdriver, Nadeem said. I'll see if I can find one. The drills stared after him as he raced off. What does he think we need a screwdriver, muttered one. If you ask me, that demon drill's a bit too big for his boots, said the other. Nadeem quickly found a group of screwdrivers at the quayside. We need a screwdriver on board, he said. What a cheek, said one. We said that it was a job for screwdrivers, not drills, the second one agreed, and the 3 of them rudely turned their backs on him. Nadeem sighed, but then he noticed the saws and went up to them. We desperately need a saw to cut the mast to size, he told them, but the 3 saws just ignored them. Why are you being so rude? Nadeem wailed. Rude? One of the saws snorted. You drills grabbed the job in the first place. You sort it out. Nadeem felt confused. Why wouldn't the tools work together? Just then he saw Biff and Floppy. I'm glad I found you, he said. You've got to help me. The drills are about to launch the boat, but it's not finished. it'll sink. Nadeem, Biff and Floppy ran back to the boat. Danny Drill was just about to launch it. "Stop!" Nadeem yelled. You can't launch the boat. It's full of holes." Danny looked annoyed. "Of course it's full of holes," he said. "We're drills, aren't we? We're launching now or we won't get the prize." Nadeem turned to all the other drills. "This is too dangerous," he said. "This is too dangerous," he told them. "We've got to ask the other tools to help." He turned towards the quayside. "Calling all tools," he shouted. "Any tool that comes to help build this boat will get a share of the prize, but you all have to come now." Soon lots of tools began to help. Danny was furious. "I'm in charge of this boat," he yelled. "What do you think you're doing, demon?" Nadeem ignored him. Bellow deck, please, double quick," he told the screwdrivers. "Now we'll have to share the prize with all the other tools," said Danny. "The only way to get the job done is to work together," Nadeem told him. Danny went quiet. Then he looked around at all the work that was being done. And at last he smiled. At last the smile broke over his face. "Nice one, Demon," he said. "I wonder why we never thought of working together before." It wasn't long before the boat was finished and sailing beautifully. "Well done, all you tools," Nadeem said. "By working together, you did a great job. You really earned your prize." The tools cheered as Nadeem undid the ribbon around the toolbox and put it in his pocket. "A tool store for all us tools to share," Danny smiled. Just then Biff noticed Floppy's collar. "The key's glowing," she said. "We're going," thought Floppy. Back at the shop, Wilf, Wilma, Chip and Kipper saw that Nadeem was removing the drills from the window display. They pushed the shop door open. "It looks like Nadeem's changed his mind," Wilma said. "He certainly had. Biff and I were making a display of all the tools," Nadeem said. Biff was busy writing something on a big piece of card. And when she finished, Nadeem took the ribbon from his pocket and stuck it onto the card. The poster was complete. "Shall sell a tool for every job," read Biff. And she winked at Nadeem. "Nice one, Demon." The end.